Well, you guys saw the revision of the list of Mega Man special weapons I hate. Now it's time to revise the list of the special weapons I like. Most some special weapons in the Mega Man series fall flat on their non-existent faces. The rest make Mega Man. Well, Mega Man. I like the Mega Man we all know and love, and with me playing Mega Man 9, 10, and 11 for the first time, I'm sorry, now I had to make this countdown. The only rule is that I'm going to include at least one weapon from Mega Man 1 to 11 as well as one from Mega Man and Base on this list. And of course, this is my opinion. With everything all wrapped up, let's rock and roll! See what I did there? You know we're off to a great start when a weapon from the classic Mega Man 2 is only number 12 on the list. Now, when people talk about which is the best special weapon from Mega Man 2, they'll definitely say the Metal Blade, and I can see why. It can pretty much own anything, including, of all things, Metal Man himself. However, since the Metal Blade is an obvious contender for this list, I decided to exclude it just for the sake of originality. That being said though, most of the other weapons from Mega Man 2 aren't exactly on par with the Metal Blade to say the least. But if I had to pick just one weapon that isn't the Metal Blade to put on this list, well, I was born in Australia, so I'm going with the boomerangs. True, you can only use the quick boomerang in two directions, but it's still very strong. And when I mean strong, I mean on par with the Metal Blade. However, you know how you can only use the Metal Blade 112 times? Well, you can use a quick boomerang to twice that amount, 224 to be precise. And unlike the Metal Blade, if you hold down the fire button, Mega Man will keep firing it. With these two factors, that Flaming Mecha Dragon is tamed. In a way, I still prefer the Metal Blade, but for those who don't want to use anything game-breaking, then the quick boomerang is your next best option. Then again, pretty much every other weapon in Mega Man 2, while not better than the Metal Blade, can take down enemies really easily too. Almost every other weapon. While on the subject of the Metal Blade, the Shadow Blade from the third game can be considered an honorable successor. And no, I'm not just saying that because Shadow Man is a freaking ninja! And yes, you can shoot the Shadow Blade downwards, but like the Metal Blade and the Quick Boomerang, it's absurdly strong. You may only have one Shadow Blade on screen at a time, which I guess is Capcom's response to how broken the Metal Blade was in Mega Man 2, but the fact that this Ninja Blade can still wreck stuff is what it needed to earn its place on my list. I got nothing else to say except that Capcom and ninjas are like a dream team. Even if one ninja gets killed off screen. I regret nothing. If you actually saw the revision on my worst special weapons list, you will know that the Skull Bearer from Mega Man 4, a weapon from that original Double Top 5, was the first contender you saw on that list. Why am I bringing this up considering the fact that the Skull Bearer is still not a good weapon? Because the shower attack from the following game, another weapon for that original Double Top 5, is the first contender you're seeing on this list. Funny considering how back when I made that Double Top 5 in 2016, both the Skull Bearer and the shower attack were number 5 on their respective lists. But let's get back on topic. And no, unlike the worst list, not all the weapons that were placed on the original best weapons list will reappear on this list. Anyways, our Mega Man 5's weapon selection, which wasn't great from what I've heard, the shower attack is one of the highlights. Sure, it may not look like it at first, but then you press either up or down on the D-pad and you can see how practical it is. Sure, you can only guide it to your desired direction once, but it's a must for anyone who wants to attack hard to reach enemies. Kudos to Capcom for doing something new for a change. The charge kick may also be unique, but that doesn't make up for how stupid and awkward it is. Good thing future games don't have weapons that were in a way similar to it. Oh yeah, that reminds me, after Mega Man 5, Capcom made other weapons similar to the shower attack, but I'll get to one of them later. And like the Quick Boomerang and the Shadow Blade before, the shower attack is insanely strong. Okay, it may not be that strong, but still. Have you ever touched a rotating propeller before, let alone one rotating at high speed? That will hurt like a mother, just like this weapon. And I love it for it. So yeah, we all know how the first Mega Man game didn't age very well, meaning the score system, almost useless invincibility frame, the most annoying enemies in the series, and only 6 Robot Masters due to limitations at the time. 2 of these gave us pretty iffy weapons. However, the other 4 were pretty dang good, and it's funny how my favorite weapon from this game is the only one that doesn't kill anything. When you defeat Iceman and get an Ice Slasher from him, you expect, well, an ice-based weapon that allows you to shoot out very cold and strong ice shots just like Iceman himself. But in actuality, all this weapon does is freeze the enemy in place. That's it. It cannot kill anything, except for Fireman. It probably would have been a million times better if this weapon can kill enemies while freezing the ones that don't die in one hit from it. I know what you're thinking. If the Ice Slasher doesn't kill anything, why is it number 9, let alone on this list at all? Simple. If you ignore the fact that it doesn't kill anything, using this weapon is so much fun. I don't know about you, but for some reason, having the Ice Slasher hit an enemy gives me a surge of satisfaction. Not to mention, this weapon can hit more than one enemy and can be used more than once, even after an enemy is frozen. If you want, you can freeze the enemy in place and ignore them. But you also have the option to change to a weapon that can actually kill something after you've frozen something with the Ice Slasher. You can do that. The Ice Slasher's effect doesn't disappear if you change weapon. It's a bit cumbersome, but I'll admit, it's more enjoyable than cumbersome. The Ice Slasher can also free environmental obstacles, but that's just minor detail. So yeah, while this weapon is one of the few weapons that can't kill anything, the sheer fun and satisfaction of using the Ice Slasher makes this, in my book, a cool weapon. Okay, who put that in my script? If you, again, actually saw the revision of the worst special weapons list, you will know that despite the fact I played Mega Man 8 around the time I made that list, I didn't include any weapons from that game. Don't get me wrong, the game's pretty decent even with its god-awful late 90s voice acting, but even though I was able to get far in the game, I'm still unable to decide which weapon is the worst. That being said though, Mega Man 8 still has plenty of good weapons, and the 2 I believe are the best highlights in this roster are Tengu Man's Tornado Hold and Frost Man's Ice Wave. Yeah, I'm putting these in a tie. Exactly how long has it been since you saw one of those in the countdown? Regardless, I will go over why I like the Tornado Hold and the Ice Wave, starting with the former. Basically, when you use a Tornado Hold, you shoot out what looks like a shuriken to the ground and it generates a tornado, and believe me, this tornado is deadly. Just like the Tower Attack, it is a must for anyone who wants to attack hard to reach enemies. It is also a must if you want to beat Astro Man stage. Yeah, no wonder it's part of Mega Man's moveset in Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes. As for the Ice Wave, it's one of those wall/ground crawling weapons, which in my opinion are pretty hit or miss. And if you can tell by its placement on the list, the Ice Wave is a hit, no pun intended. Basically, you drop ice on the ground and it creates a wave that travels across the walls and the floors, hence the name Ice Wave. However, like pretty much most of the other weapons previous on this list, and by extension, many others you're going to see later down the line, this weapon is crazily powerful. In conclusion, both the Tengu Blade and the Ice Wave are both destructive forces of nature, and even though you think that Mega Man 8 is pretty bad, that doesn't mean you should overlook 2 great weapons like these. Unless you don't care about the special weapons in 8 and instead get Buster upgrades from Dr. Light's lab, that works too. If you saw the revision of my worst weapons list, again, you would know that I did not like the Danger Rat because of how it was outclassed by pretty much every other special weapon in Mega Man 7. However, that did not stop Aero Dragon 2 from putting it on his favorite special weapons list he made 5 years ago. Why? Because he thinks that it is creative that the Danger Rat can be used in 3 different ways. Why am I bringing this up? Because there is another weapon in the Mega Man series that I believe is more creative than the Danger Rat, that being the Ice Wall from Mega Man Base. Yeah, I know this is the 3rd ice-based weapon in a row, but don't worry, this will be the last one. For now, as to why I like the Ice Wall, like the Danger Rat, it is creative. And when I mean creative, I mean it can be used in many ways, so unlike the Danger Rat, there are more ways to use this weapon effectively. While the game prefers you to ram the Ice Wall into enemies, there are also other stuff you can do with this weapon, such as dropping it on the enemy's head, have it defend you from certain enemies like some sort of shield, use it as a platform to reach hard to reach places, or totally humiliate Burner Man in the funniest way possible. Like I said, I find this weapon better than the Danger Rat, but like Aero Dragon 2 said in his favorite Mega Man special weapons list, how you use it is entirely up to you, so try it out and see what results you can find.